Once you've organized and prepared your images, you're ready for the book module. In this video, you'll see how to quickly make a book ready for printing. So I'm in the library module. I'm going to take the collection that I've created earlier with all my processed images that has the appropriate metadata all in place. I'm going to take it over to the book module by clicking on Book in the module picker. Now, already Lightroom is preparing my book, and I'm going to get to the reasons why it's chosen this layout in a minute. But first, let me just give you a general overview of the book module itself. So over here on the left, we have a preview window, and we can actually preview our selected page either in fit view 1:1 or 4:1. We can also just come over here in the preview area at the bottom where the toolbar is, and we can make our selection here. Now we're in kind of a grid view where we show all the pages in a thumbnail version, and we can change the size of the thumbnails here by just moving that slider to the left and the right, and we can scroll around and see all our pages over here on the right. We can also see the double page spread, and if we have a single page, we can take a look at that using this icon here. So over on the left, underneath the preview, we have collections. So we can move to another collection if we want to make another book based on another collection. We don't have to leave the book module. At the very bottom, we can export a book to a PDF if we want. We don't have to send it to Blurb for printing. So we in the middle, as I've already pointed out, we have the preview area, and we can see our layout in different versions depending on whether we select the grid view, double page view, or the single page view. Let's move over to the right. I'm not going to go through all these settings in detail, but this is basically where the heavy lifting occurs, where we can change the type, we can add type, we can change the layout, the background, etc., etc. We'll get into the details in a minute here. All right, so I have a layout that's already been made for me automatically. Now, why did it choose this particular layout? Well, it's because I've already set some things over here on the right. I'm going to walk you through all these different settings, and you'll see why we got what we have now. So under book, well, we have blurb. We could also send it to a PDF or a JPEG. If we want to do a print with our desktop printer and see what we have before we send it off to Blurb, it's a really good idea to generate a JPEG or a PDF and do that. So here we have some choices of sizes. I'm going to choose the standard portrait size. I think I want that instead, and it's asking me, do I want to change the size? And yes, I do. So it's going to go ahead and change the size to the standard portrait size. Here we have a choice of hardcover with image wrap or a dust jacket or a soft cover. Again, it's your choice. A hardcover will obviously cost more than a soft cover. Paper type, different types of paper. This will affect the ultimate price of the book depending on the quality of the paper you choose. As far as the logo page goes, if you leave it on, at the very last page, there will be a Blurb logo printed. If you turn it off, you will pay a little bit more, but you won't have that logo there. Here we have an estimated price, and it's just that. It's an estimated price. That price may change a little bit as we change our layout, we change our paper, we change the amount of pages. So here under auto layout, this is what's generating what you see over here on the left. And right now, the preset that I have chosen is left blank, right one photo caption. And you can see how it's generated that automatically. You can choose different presets. Let me go ahead and choose, let's say, one photo per page. And I'll clear this book, and I will now generate another auto layout based on different criteria. And you can see how this works here. You can also create your own preset right here in the auto layout preset editor. And once you've created that, it will show up as one of the options you see here. I'm going to go back and leave it left blank, right one photo, and clear it, and now generate an auto layout. Okay, so now we are ready to actually tweak this a little bit, because this looks fine. I mean, we have a book ready to go, but it's not exactly right. I like starting with an auto layout. I could have just started out with blank pages and then just clicked and dragged images from the film strip and build the book up slowly that way. I just like having something in front of me to work on. But it's not perfect. So let's walk through customizing this. And I promise you this would be a quick way to get a book ready to go. So let's just get right to it. So the first thing that we need to do is get a title on the cover and some credit. Let me make a view that I can see more clearly what's going on. Right away, we have an option to add photo text. And if you look over here to the right now, right, I'm going to scroll over to photo text. I'm going to select that. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to use some of the information that I've already created in the library module. I want the creator field to be used. And you can see down there, well, maybe you can't see so clearly. Let me enlarge that. I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to come down to the type panel, and I'm going to make that character a little larger. Maybe I better make it a different color so we can see it against the dark there. And now I can also center it. You have all your standard type controls there. And now you can see I have very quickly given my name to the book. Now I'm clicking and dragging to move it up a little bit. I could also use the controls over here on the right under photo text to offset it up and down this way. I think I'm going to move the text to the right. I don't want it in the middle. I think I'll set it over there and bring it down a little bit. Okay, and maybe change the size of the type a little here. And I can also change all these other parameters that you see here with the type. Okay, so I've given the book some credit. I need to now give it a title. And in order to do that, I'll go up here to the text panel and select page text. That gives me another field to type into. And this time I'm going to type the name of the book. Let's call it Mendocino Road Trip. All right, so obviously that's not the right location. I'm going to hold I could do it one of two ways. I can hold my cursor over it and just drag it up, or I could have used this offset slider up here as well. All right, so let's just tweak this text a little bit. I don't want to spend too much time on that. I do want that centered, so let's hit the centering. And let's give it a darker color, maybe increase the size a little bit, decrease the opacity. Okay, that's good. So we have our cover. Really quick. Obviously, I could have taken a lot more time and tweaked that type to make it better, but it's good enough for now. So let me go back down to the layout view. And another problem I see right away as I look through some of these images are landscape images, and I want them to be, instead of on a single page, I want them to be a double page spread. These are fine, this one and this one and this one, so these are ready to go. But what about this picture here? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select that, and you can see down here on the right, I can now change the page layout by selecting that little arrow, and a bunch of options show up. I'm going to choose 2-page spreads, and from that I'll choose this. And now this is a 2-page spread, and I have these double blank pages over here, but I'm going to select those, right click, and just remove those pages. I don't obviously need blank pages. So I can go through, and I'm going to do the same thing with this image. I want this to be a 2-page spread, and there we go, and then there, and let's get rid of this one and remove pages. So I could go through my whole layout that way, just cleaning things up, preparing things. At the same time, I can make sure that the images are displayed properly. I can zoom in if I want to by just clicking and dragging on that. I can spend a lot of time, but like I said, this is just going to be a really quick and easy way to get a book out the door. So right now, if I want to, I can go add captions. You can add text through the metadata that you've put into the image through the library module, or you can use the various text and type options you have as well. but we're making this quickly. Let me just go through some of the other options. You can apply a background globally. We can change the background color down here. There's a lot of control. Easy for you to spend a lot of time making a book, but we're going to get this book out. So I'm pretty much ready to go, although I do see one thing I want to do really quickly. I want to take this spread here, and I'm going to click down here at the bottom part, and I want to move that up here. I want to relocate that one, and then I'm going to get rid of this double page spread. Okay, there we go. So when I'm done laying out the book, I'm going to create a saved book by selecting Create Save Book. I'm going to give it a name. Put this inside that and create. We also had an option there to create virtual copies of our images if we wanted to. And the reasoning behind that would be if we've optimized these images for print to blurb, they may be one version and we might want to save another version for another type of printing, say. Okay, so the book is ready. You can see it exists over here under Mendocino Road Trip, and it's saved. But now I need to send the book to blurb, and I'm going to go ahead and select that option in the right side panels, send book to blurb. I'm not going to go through this whole process here, but it's very straightforward. You just sign in to blurb, and once you're done with that, book will be uploaded. There's the price. You'll have to pay for it, obviously, and in a week or so you'll get the book back. Now, I've said this before, but I'm just going to emphasize this, that if you don't want to send the book to blurb, you can also come up here and choose this option here, PDF, and then it's going to generate a book to PDF, and then you can do what you want with that book. All right, so this was a really, really whirlwind tour of the book module. I really wanted to show that you can create a book very quickly in this module. And I also wanted you to see that there's a lot of control you have if you want to spend time and change the layouts, have individual layouts for each page. There's so much more you can do to this module. You can spend a lot of time, but you can also do it very quickly. And I think when you get the book back from Blurb, I've had some experience with Blurb, their quality is fantastic. It's really an amazing service. And I think you'll be really pleased. And it's so great that we have this option now in Lightroom.